All right, family. I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't. You understand what I'm saying? But Black Power, we black. We black at y'all ass again. Y'all know what time it is. It's the truth hour. And I guess that's what happened when you bring the truth. You see what I'm saying? They try to shut you down, but we getting down. It's about to be some showing up Black Power in here today, family. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what time it is. KingSeti.com online marketplace. You know what I'm saying? Official General Cyrus Sunseti website. You know what I'm saying? Products. You know, we got official General Cyrus Sunseti DVDs, t-shirts, and hoodies. African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies, and much, much more. And so you need to get on over there to kingseti.com. I know I got something that you're going to like. Got something for the kings and the queen. Get on over there. To the family out there, y'all know what time it is. GeneralSeti.com, the library of the general, over 800 videos, over 800 videos, the complete General Cyrus Sunseti website, hundreds of lectures, too raw for YouTube, band videos, SETI debates, occult science, all world religion, black economics, gas, family. Got that gas for you over there. Get on over there and check it out. It's the black Netflix. You ain't gonna want to give it up. Goddamn, you gonna keep that damn subscription forever. To the family out there, just got off of Patreon. You know, the exclusive live streams by the general. Just dropped that early dynastic period of ancient Egypt. Using the gas methodology so you can get something out of it. Niggas ain't just talking about onks and shit and this, that, and the third. You got to get something revolutionary out of it. And so you got to, get on over there to my Patreon, General Cyrus Sunseti, where you hear the general take it up a notch. And make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube pages, Cyrus Sunseti, General Seti, and King Seti. You see what I'm saying? Well, we got the master teachers over there dropping that fire so y'all can have a foundation, you know, on what this shit is all about. Cause you got motherfuckers all over the place. No, you know what? No, I don't want whatever Patreon is stay on Patreon. I don't put, and that's the thing about it. Patreon is exclusive. I don't put the live streams from Patreon on generalseti.com. I don't do that. That's how I keep it exclusive. Generalseti, .com is primarily everything that's not on Patreon because these are live streams on Patreon, and the generalseti.com is primarily pre-recorded video. But it's so many that you know what I'm saying. It's over 800 videos over there. You know what I'm saying. So you'll be forever trying to watch all them damn videos. So but when you want to see the general live, y'all come on over to my Patreon and watch me work out. Now Today we're gonna be dealing with the ancient Egyptian and West African connection, and I have to do this because somehow people believe, and I didn't heard certain niggas, and I'm gonna say what it is. You know what I'm saying? They tend to want to talk down on black people that maybe look somewhere other than where they focus on. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, I'm all Africa. I'm not just no East Africa or just no West Africa, North or South. I'm all Africa. Some people, gang banging within the culture and they just, they want to focus on, no, I'm focusing on the continent. You understand what I'm saying? I'm focusing on the continent. And that all, East African history is West African history. West African history is East African history. North African history is South African history. And South African history is North African history. When we talk about ancient Egypt, we always, speak to the fact that the Egyptians came from the South. You understand what I'm saying? So when you talk about Egypt, you talking about the history of South Africa. Clearly, the Twa and the Khoisan people was very prominent in ancient Egypt. And, but this is the lack of, people having a true understanding of the history of Africa. This is primarily the lack of, real research. You understand what I'm saying? Because we got a lot of dashiki and flip-flop niggas out there. You know what I'm saying? Sandal wearing niggas, and that's all they gonna do. That's not a disrespect. They're just only to say that a lot of these niggas out here is costume. You understand? You think they know something, but they don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't know shit. So, I'm hearing people out here talking, we're global people. We're global people. Our history is across the globe, but Africa is our motherland, is our holy land. You see? But our hand has stretched across the whole planet. Our hand was the first hand that stretched across the whole planet. We not just in no one area. You know what I'm saying? Our people was, expanded and took civilization. It wasn't nobody there when we got there. You see what I'm saying? Wasn't nobody there in these land masses. And so we have to speak to that fact. But we got Negroes out there that's holding another man nuts. You know what I'm saying? And speaking up for the oppressor, even against their own people. You understand? Claiming to be African centered. And so we have to get on these Negroes. You understand what I'm saying? And please, at any given time, you want to smoke, you can get it. It's not a problem. I'll speak that and I speak that in sincerity to anybody out there, you know what I'm saying? To think that they can speak down on the master teachers who brought, and somehow they greater than the master teachers that came with the exquisite skills of research and understanding that none of these niggas profess out here today. You see what I'm saying? So I feel very, privileged to have walked in their shadow. Privileged to have walked in their shadow to be, the general that I am today. And so we're going to get into this to show that, there was always a continental transit system across the continent. It was always one. Somehow, they want to act like we locked behind some type of, boundaries that we wasn't, and this is the way that they could, dissect us and fractionalize us, till we don't have the unified. See, they want to break the continental unity that could crush all this shit out here. The unity of the continent. You understand? Alone can crush all white supremacy. And they understand that. The unity of even, Africans in America coming together would put a heavy dent into white supremacy today. So they always teach to fractionalize and to, frictionalize our people. You understand? Into these, unnecessary beefs and shit about nothing, about goddamn nothing, and some shit that they don't know what they talking about. No way. So today we're gonna be, dealing with the ancient Egyptian and West African connection. And so, right here, I want to just bring this into clarity for anybody that don't understand. Matter of fact, hold on, family. I want to grab a drink before I get started because I'm about to blow this shit out the water. All right, we black family. We black. We black. We looking at a skill Muhammad, who you live, 1443, 1538. And the thing is, studying under Dr. Ben, studying under uh studying under Dr. Ben, I was taught to, the layout of the temples. I was taught to not just, the layout. I would have to look at the blueprint. You know what I'm saying? How the temple was laid out. Where was the Holy of Holies? You understand what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. And so the Masonic aspect, not no but the geometry, the architecture, the layout, the blueprints and designs of the temple. You see, and so once I understood that, I was able to, go around the world and see that every sacred structure, you understand what I'm saying, of the high cultures around the world, they temples, they sanctuaries is laid out on the original blueprint of the ancient Egyptian temple. That's just facts. Okay. And so I hear Negroes out here talking about we from, and we are from West Africa, but we from East Africa, and the West African is from South Africa, and the East African is from South Africa. Okay, what I'm saying? So when you understand migrations of African people, it would the West African came from South Africa. You see what I'm saying? Let's talk about this. You understand what I'm saying? Let's talk about this. And so to see the connection, I don't have to look at, I just look at the major shit, the temple alone. Now, when you look at African Muslims, okay, and you look at their sanctuaries, see, they don't have the mosque like the Byzantine mosque. You understand, with the Roman dome and this, that, and the third. You can go in the Arab world and you look at the mosque is always in the Byzantine, because this is where they got that shit from. When you look at the Arab mosque, you see that they borrowed, they stole, because they didn't have no structures. They was in tents. So they didn't have no, so they stole from all those whom they conquered. So when you look at the Arab mosque, you see that they mosque is designed like the Byzantine. But when you look at the African Muslim, and I'm not venerating no form of Islam at all. But the African Muslims kept the pyramid. You see, when you look at a skill, and that's not even a skill, he has his own burial pyramid. You see, he has his own burial pyramid, but that's at Timbuktu. You see, and so you see that, and I'm gonna show you the mosque all through West Africa. It's on the same layout of the Egyptian temple. Okay, guarantee you. You can go into the Hindu, and you can see the same damn temple. You understand what I'm saying? That come out of ancient Egypt. Okay, the oblong, which is the rectangle. You understand, that's used by the church. If you look at the cathedral and you go in the interior, you see even Solomon's temple and all of them is laid out on the sacred oblong. And so when you go into the Freemason lodge, it's also laid out on the sacred oblong. Okay? And we're going to deal with this. For y'all that think that you niggas can believe whatever you want to. I don't give a damn. You can either accept the truth or you don't. You see what I'm saying? And so, when the one thing that, let me put this in here. Let me come on down. Okay? Now look at this. You see? This is in India. But see, that's that southern Hindu temple. You understand? Carved out of the stone. See, that was that Kushite presence. You see what I'm saying? And so when you look at the Venema, which is the pyramid, in there is what you call the sanctuary. You see, So when you come in and you see the oblong is in front, the sacred oblong, the rectangle. It's a rectangle. You understand? It's long, and I don't, I get the dimensions, exactly the dimensions, and I may have it in here, I may not have it in there. You see what I'm saying? And so when you look at the oblong, which is in front of the pyramid, inside there is a hypostyle hall. You see, it's a hypostyle hall. I laid that out, but we just looking to just show you that when you look at this and you go to West Africa, you see the pyramid and then you see the oblong. You know what I'm saying? It ain't as long as the other one, but it's the sacred oblong. It's the same temple. Okay, now how is it that the Hindu and the West African and all because at some given time, the ancestors all set it in the Nile. Okay, and those who took that knowledge wherever they went, they kept the sacred mathematics. They kept the sacred divine mathematics that came up out of the Nile, and it has not changed until this day. It has not changed until this day. You can go in any cathedral and from whether Hindu, whether it's fucking Christian, whether it even Solomon, I don't give a goddamn what religion it is. They have all taken from the ancient Egyptian divine mathematics of temple building. Facts. Okay. So when you look at this one, and you come over here and you look at this one, it's the same sacred mathematics. Now again, this is in Timbuktu, the Mosque of Saint Corey. You see, and so when you look at the pyramid up front, and then you see the sacred oblong, you understand what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken, north, is it north to south? It may be long north to south, short east to west. I could be wrong in that, but I could be right. Either or, it's just switch it. It's still a rectangle. You see what I'm saying? It's still a rectangle. And so you see here at Saint Corey, you look here, and this is in goddamn southern India. It's the same structure. Okay? It's the same structure. And so, let me come to the one of ancient Egypt so we can see this. Let's bring this. Let me get the one from ancient Egypt. And then I'll come back. Oh, it was right there all along. Right there. How I went past it. Okay, there it is. And so when you look at the Great Pyramids, you got to understand that there's temples in front of the pyramid. Okay? There's temples right in front of the pyramid. Yeah, and so a lot of people don't understand that. Even when you go into the Olmecs, I heard motherfuckers talking about acting as if we just looking at some goddamn the Olmec heads, and that's the only facts that we using to declare that this is an African civilization. They got the same fucking structures. You understand what I'm saying? How is it that you go all over the world? You understand what I'm saying? And you see that the same divine mathematics in temple building is even in the Olmecs. Okay? Even in the Olmecs. We ain't just looking at no goddamn heads talking about these is Africans. There's some coward motherfuckers out there. You understand what I'm saying? And all they want to do is hold another man's nuts, and they'll defend the motherfucking adversaries against their own family. You know what I'm saying? Against their own damn family. And this is ridiculous. You see what I'm saying? So the first thing that I had to show that just really just put a heavy dagger into anybody that believing that all knowledge didn't come out of ancient Egypt. It did. But see, a lot of people think that we look to Egypt and that we don't look, we honor West Africa, I honor all African history. You see what I'm saying? I honor, all Africa. The whole continent is sacred. The whole continent. We didn't just say, Egypt is the holy land, or no, Egypt is a holy land. The whole continent is holy. You understand? Every square inch of it is the motherland. You see, and we understand that in most of these great civilizations, even when you talk about West Africa, don't assume that East Africans wasn't coming to West Africa. You know what I'm saying? To, in the greatness that is in West Africa, in any era of history, the great civilization is going to bring, it's going to bring, pilgrims from all over the world. That's just how it go. You see what I'm saying? So, even when people talk about ancient Egypt, they assume that it's just one nation, one ethnic group of Africans, which it was not. You understand what I'm saying? Just like you going to Ethiopia today, man, there's hundreds of ethnic segments of Ethiopia. You see, and people don't understand that. So when you go into these nations, you don't understand. It's not just no one ethnic group. It's many ethnic groups right there inside of that nation. And so it was the same in ancient Egypt. And so people don't understand the Twa, who came from deep south, the Khoisan that came from deep south. And it showed that all. And so when we talk about East African history, we talking Southern Africa, we talking West Africa. When a lot of the conquerors was coming to Egypt, many of the Africans fled west. And and they integrated into the society because it was so uniquely, in many instances the same, both being river civilization, great river civilization, so they could easily, integrate into a society like that because they already had skills in that form of a society. Being on a river, you got to be able to build boats, you got to be able to navigate, and this, that, and the third. And so it was easier for them to integrate. And so when you look at this pyramid, you see the mortuary temple is in front of the pyramid. So when you come here and you can look down in the courtyard, let me see. Oh, if I could blow it up just well, it can't be blown up too much more. If you look down in the courtyard, you see the hypostyle hall. And so when you come here, you will see that inside, if I could look inside, you will see that it's a hypostyle hall in the front of the Hindu temple. It's the same temple. You see what I'm saying? It's it didn't change a little bit here and that, this, that, and the third, but it's the same design. You see what I'm saying? You go into West Africa. Why is it that they have pyramid mosque? You see, there's a reason for that. That pyramid is sacred all across Africa. You see, it's sacred all across Africa. It's an African concept. Okay, it's an African concept. And so let me come down. Now, this is in Benin. You see, this is the palace of the Oba. Okay, and you see the serpent. You understand, coming down from the heavens. You see the serpent coming down from the heavens, where the serpent was deified as cosmic energy. You see, this is another African concept that you see all over Africa, and you can see it and when you see it, when you see one, and then you see another, and then I could just go down the list of how many symbols, that are uniquely the same across the board. It's not that these people just independently came up with these concepts. You know what I'm saying? There was pilgrims, colonists from Africa that took this information all over the world. And then there's this, this African knowledge of unity that, it's so African that it exists wherever, whether you're in the north, whether you're in the south, whether you're in the east, or whether you're in the west. And so you see right here, you see roots of old Benin city scaled down version of the tower with the brass snake and bird that adorn the Oba's palace in Benin City before 19th century. Museum of Traditional Nigerian Architecture. I don't know if they're Yos, Nigeria. Okay, and so again, when you see here, you see the serpent coming, is coming down from the cosmos. You see what I'm saying? Is divine energy. You see, I'm gonna show you even the hairstyles. well, because this is woolly hair. You can see that same hairstyle in the Nile Valley. And so you see here, let me come. So when you look at, in the middle, you see the West African tradition. You see the serpent coming down, sitting right there on the pineal gland. You can go into Kemetic and see and show, where the serpent is coming down. That's the solar energy. That's cosmic energy. Understanding is in, and so they were, continentally, you understand, aware of the pineal gland being the seat of the soul. Okay, being the seat of the soul, long before some chakra system, long before you hear the European motherfucker, you just got this shit yesterday. You understand what I'm saying? And so here again, this is something that just cannot be overlooked. Okay, these is not just simplistic concepts. When you look at the temple, that means you got somebody had to pass that down. Okay, when you're talking about somebody's sanctuary, you're talking about some of the most sacred aspects of a people. You're not talking about no simplistic shit. So when you're talking about the serpent, is symbolic of divine energy sitting on the pineal, the seat of the soul, being a sender and receiver of cosmic energy. This is across the board. Okay, and so you're seeing two very important aspects of both Egyptian and West African culture that you just cannot get around. You see? And so again, you're seeing another, to the left, you're seeing another royal of West Africa, I'm Benin, and you see the serpent coming down, sitting on the pineal again. So this was something that they were aware of, and they didn't develop it independent of one another. Okay, they didn't do, this is something that was common amongst all African civilizations. And so again, you see that, here the serpent is in a spiral. You see what I'm saying? To show that this is an infinite, that sacred knowledge is infinite, is eternal. Okay, is never ending. And so this is the education of the African. It's a never-ending education. We always studying, we're always pushing to know more about the universe, because the universe is an infinite existence. You see what I'm saying? And we are a very important aspect of this existence. And what's on the outside is on the inside. You see what I'm saying? And the spiral also acts as a portal to transmit energy. And we can do that. A lot of motherfuckers, I don't want motherfuckers to get too spooky. You understand what I'm saying? But then again, it is what it is. You see, what you believe and what so you think of, so is he or she. So a man or woman think of in their heart and in their mind, so is he or she. So whatever you believe you are, that's what you are. You see what I'm saying? Whatever you believe you can conceive that. You see what I'm saying? You can conceive. You can put it here. You can manifest it in the physical. You see? And so when you come into West Africa, again, you're seeing the serpent sitting on the crown chakra. You see what I'm saying? Now, motherfuckers was talking about, oh, well, we niggas is making up some shit about, and you can see, like I say, I'm not the one. I can run down hundreds of, you can say similarities, but after you start getting up near the 30 and the 40, these are not just simplistic concepts. When you start getting up to 30 and 50 and 60 and 70, you know what I'm saying? Similarities of complex ideas. No, motherfucker, we talking about complex ideas. You see what I'm saying? Then you got to know that this is not no motherfucking coincidence. You understand what I'm saying? There was a common seat of knowledge that was transmitted all over the planet. You see what I'm saying? So you see here again where the serpent is set on the crown. You understand? To act as a symbol of transmission of cosmic energy, mental energy. You see what I'm saying? From the universe to you and you unto the universe. And so you go over there, and you see in so-called South America where they didn't got some of even the goddamn rings that go around the neck, the goddamn, the papyrus boats and shit that, they see in goddamn Peru, the very same fucking boat in the Nile Valley. Okay? And what kind of goddamn coincidence would it be exactly the goddamn same? It ain't gonna no goddamn coincidence. We know that what we are saying is the exact truth. Okay? Is the exact truth. Okay? And so again, you're looking again where you see that this is a common thread throughout the cultures. Okay? This is from the Yoruba people. You see? This is from the Yoruba people. Now, another very important, similarity between the great civilizations of West Africa and East Africa. You understand what I'm saying? Was the great library educational systems, that were premier in a day and age that could not be surpassed, and to sum it up, was the source of all enlightenment on the earth. Eat both of them. When you talk about the great libraries of the Nile Valley, we're not just talking about no goddamn, just talking about what they try to say, the great library of Alexandria. All of those were raped. Those were taken from every temple had a library. You understand what I'm saying? So you had libraries all over the Nile Valley. You see? And so when you talk about Timbuktu, the University of Sankore, this was and so not just having these educational systems, but the production of literature. You see what I'm saying? The production of literature. So when you talk about the two greatest libraries of the ancient world, where in Timbuktu ain't as ancient in that respect as the Nile Valley system, but nonetheless, it's an extension of the same system. Okay, and it was there before the Arab. Okay, it was there before the Arab. So don't ever try to credit the Arab for anything in Timbuktu. Yes, when it was, many of the West Africans became Islamically influenced, then, a lot of the manifestation of literature was in Islam. Okay, it was in Islam, but nonetheless, many of them great sciences had to be manifested long before Islam, because you got to develop great sciences like that. The Arab was over there in the goddamn desert. He didn't have nothing but a tent, a goddamn camel. They didn't have you ain't got no libraries that come out of goddamn Arabia. Okay, so when you talk about, you coming across Africa, just because they force somebody to take on the Arab name doesn't mean that you accredit that culture, that civilization to the Arab. Okay, and so you come into West Africa and then you go into East Africa, you see again the great library system, the great educational system of both systems, the two great libraries of the ancient and the modern world. Okay, when no other nation had a library or an educational system. You see what I'm saying? It's ironic that when you talk about and the Moors took knowledge into goddamn Europe. Okay, where did the knowledge come from? Nobody accredits that knowledge to West Africa because they want you to believe that you was doing anything other than, you understand what I'm saying, herding goats and shit and this, that, and the third. They say Africa never had any great civilization, so they don't want to give credit to any African having anything close to civilization. It was historical books that wrote that the African never had a civilization. The only tribe that never had a civilization. So again, you see right there with a scroll, and they'll tell you that, they didn't have papyrus into the New Kingdom. And goddamn, you see Imhotep, he was in the third dynasty, and every time they show Imhotep, he got a scroll in his lap. But they'll tell you that papyrus wasn't invented Papyrus scrolls wasn't invented until the New Kingdom. They tell you that the pyramid text was the first in the early. You know why? Because they done raped up all the goddamn scrolls out of Egypt. Okay, how the hell you gonna start writing in stone before you start writing on paper? That don't make no damn sense. It don't make no sense. You learning the alphabet, man. You got to be, you got to have something that's fluid. You understand what I'm saying? You got to have a pen. You got to, you know what I'm saying, to develop language and words and shit. You're not going, I seen the pyramid text, and you ain't gonna make me believe that they started with the damn pyramid text. You have to have a blueprint on how what is you carving up in the wall. You mean every time they had a thought, they carved in stone? And so that's the shit that people believe. You understand what I'm saying? Because they don't want you to know how early you were writing on paper. They don't want to show you that. You know what I'm saying? If they can keep it in the New Kingdom, you understand what I'm saying? If they could keep it in the New Kingdom, and they could keep it right around, when when the European or the Asian is just formation, starting to form, then they can kind of give some type of credit. Well, the Sumerian, but goddamn it, if you take it even that, you know what I'm saying? You take it before that, because they were writing before Egypt was even a nation. Was writing before Egypt was even a nation, but you let the master dictate your chronology. And anytime you let another nigga count your pockets, you're gonna always come up short. You don't realize that. And so, they have manifested this false history. And I'm a revolutionary. We got to be revolutionary about this shit. Too many of you Egyptian niggas wanna integrate with this beast. Y'all want to find a way not to say nothing bad about the beast. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all not talking about no nationhood. Y'all just want to live in the belly of the beast and quote a fucking few facts and this, that, and the third. But y'all not moving towards no nationalism. You don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. You understand what I'm saying? You don't want to kick nobody out the house. You don't want to, you understand? You don't want to do shit. You just want to be friends with everybody. You want an integrationalist history. You understand what I'm saying? I tell it just like it is. You ain't had shit to do with this, beast. Get on up out of here. We not sharing nothing with you. We don't. Your nature is so foul and that we cannot exist. And anytime you make an excuse, I can give you a goddamn hundred vicious, defiling facts that you're gonna have to live with this beast. And in order for you to want to live with him and understanding that this is just what's gonna come with it, and then let me know you much a part of the beast as the beast. You see what I'm saying? You love him, and so everything that he's doing and defiling the people, you in agreement with that. I have to say that. And so again, when you look at Imhotep, now, when you go to Timbuktu, yes, you see the Islamic, and they say, well, we didn't have no language. And see, this is what the trap you're going to be in. If you just saying, yeah, we come from out of, we come from out of South Africa. We come from out of East Africa. And, and we had language. That's our language. You understand what I'm saying? The language of the Nile Valley is the language of all of Africa. You see what I'm saying? But then you get in a certain predicament where you got on the land, and they do anywhere the Arab go he destroyed. Anywhere the Muslim go, he destroyed that which he cannot produce. You understand what I'm saying? They couldn't produce statues, and so they say it's against Islam to carve statues. Anything he couldn't do, he wrote in the Quran. It was against the will of God to do that. Anything he couldn't do. I done seen him goddamn Afghanistan and all over there where they done took over lands, and it was, Buddhas and shit over there that was carved in the mountain. Even in goddamn Iraq, when ISIS and shit went over there, they knew that wasn't them. They was over there in them museums, and anything that looked African, they was blowing that up, knocking it down, putting goddamn sludge hammers on there and everything. And so you got to understand that there was literature all over Africa. long before some goddamn Islam. And even when you look at Islam, it ain't nothing but the heretic. When you talk about the, all the calligraphy of Islam, that ain't nothing but the heretic. God damn it, y'all then took our alphabet and y'all then called it calligraphy, Arabic or whatever the fuck, and the Hebrew then done the same, all language. You understand what I'm saying? They done took our alphabet and they didn't cursive is, that's heretic. You understand what I'm saying? That's heretic. Okay? Without the knowledge of the true knowledge of African people, what they had behind those, those letters. You understand? They didn't know nothing. And so they took it and said, okay, I'm gonna make this that sound, and I'm gonna make this that sound. And that's where they got their goddamn alphabet. But they did not have no damn, they didn't even have paper. They didn't even have no damn, how the hell you gonna have an alphabet? You ain't even got paper. You ain't even got no goddamn paper. And so when motherfuckers get to talking about they had a language before the Africans, I said, what the fuck did you write it on? Because paper come from papyrus. And the first thing where we was writing, motherfucker, you're not gonna develop no language writing on no damn lamb skins and no goat skins. When you talk about, nigga, I'm writing on paper right goddamn now. That's the greatest technology that ever been invented when it come to scribing some information. You know what I'm saying? That, that pen, that ink and shit, when it hit that paper, you can move fluently. The thought, soon as the thought come, you can write that shit. You understand what I'm saying? You cannot, if you had a thought on your goddamn mind, you know how you can have a thought and you have to run and write that shit down. You had to write that shit on a goat skin, or the first thing you had to do was carve it in a goddamn stone, nigga. You have been to forget shit. You understand what I'm saying? You've been to forgot that shit before you could get it out, write it down. You know what I'm saying? So you have to look and see that it was, and so these is the similarities, and so when you go to Timbuktu, they just got nothing but, books, and, that's astounding. That's astounding. Because you can't go nowhere else, even in the Islamic world, and you can see these niggas that's, they hating on Timbuktu, they hating on Mali. You understand? We talking about niggas now. They Arab niggas now. They Arab, and they see that literature as a mocking of, who they are and shit. So you having niggas down there trying to attack the library, burn the books. You know what I'm saying? They even talking about moving them up out of there, and moving them, into a place where they most safe, because Mali has been, with all this war going on over there. Why? Because you got niggas entrenched into that goddamn Arab Islam. You understand what I'm saying? And they see that the greatness of African people, and they want to destroy it. And these is niggas. Okay? They ain't African, they niggas. And so we got them all over the planet, family. We got them all over the planet. It's a war. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not giving you this goddamn history just to quote facts. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not giving you this. This ain't to quote no goddamn fact. Every fucking time I pinpoint the adversary. You understand? But the thing is, you know why niggas can't move on it? Because they got the love of that beast in their heart. That's what it all boiled. Sadie, why you don't tell motherfucker? Because until I see some success right here with this right here, ain't no goddamn success. You know what I'm saying? When I get to talking about Christianity, motherfuckers say, Sadie, why you still talking about the Bible? I say, motherfucker, have you rolled up the street? Is the church still on the motherfucking corner, on every corner? Is they passing the plate? Is they still pillaging the goddamn community? Then it need with, nigga. You don't want me to move on. You know why? Because you got the love of Jesus deep down in your heart. You know what I'm saying? You got the love of Jesus deep down in your heart. That's really what it is. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why I continue. Ain't gonna be no success until that shit gone. It ain't gonna be, people thinking that we gonna do this. And no, nigga, when you find out you got cancer in the body, you have to remove that from the body. You don't continue on with this shit. Just like, people in West Africa, they don't see East African history. Many of them, they look at that shit, they done gave that shit to the air, even though it's African. Even though it's African. And the way I look at it, nigga, when you allow, and you got cancer, say you got cancer in your arm, you say, well, shit, it ain't in the other part of my body, but I'm going to just let it, and believe that it's just gonna stay in your arm, it's gonna spread. So don't believe that because in North Africa ain't plotting coming further south. You don't ever, you can see it over there now. You can see it over there now. All they do is pay their henchmen, they nigga henchmen, to come, in Nigeria and Mali, all that to push down so they can have a Arab Islam. And I'm not with no Islam. Some of it is still they keep African traditions. You see what I'm saying? They ain't, they keep some of the African traditions. And so pyramids over there, they didn't attack them. You know what I'm saying? Because you got what they call Sufism, and which is a mystic form of Islam, which is saying that they keeping some of that traditional African spirituality. And in those, them Arab niggas that they see that shit as outside of Islam. That niggas is heretics. So they come down there, and many of them pyramids, you got Sufi mystics that's buried in them pyramids, and they went down there and knocked holes all in them. Them damn northern nigger Muslims came down there and attacked the pyramids, knocked holes. They had to fix them up again. They, you know what I'm saying? Because they had destroyed them. People didn't hear about that, but if you did burn some of the books, I heard about 2,000-3,000 of the books got burned and shit before they ran them up out of there. You see what I'm saying? So this is what we dealing with. And this is what happens when you allow this cancer to sit in your body and you just give them this part. Say, well, that's, and we'll let them stay. No, motherfucker, they planning on taking the whole continent when they can. So you got to get them up out of there. Okay, let me keep it moving. And so you see, Timbuktu being one of the oldest university systems in the world. You understand what I'm saying? Now look at this. Now I got to drop this now. And so when you look at you see, when you look at the Egyptian hairstyle, and then you look into Sudan, and you look into Ethiopia where they got the rows of twists, and you know what I'm saying, that they have. You know what I'm saying? And then you go into West Africa and you see it's the same hair do. Okay? Same style. You see what I'm saying? You can see it's even cut and lined up the same way. Just the same people. Nigga, I don't care what y'all niggas talking about. They going from east to just like motherfuckers. If you live in whatever part of the United States you stay in, you got motherfuckers that's visiting their family. They could be from the East Coast. They visiting their family in the West Coast. What's stopping them? You see, you got your family. You got black people in the North that's visiting their family in the South. And it's the same way in Africa. We have many of the same hairstyles all across, you know what I'm saying, the United States with black people in these urban areas. You see, we dress, a lot the same and shit. So you can, until you hear a motherfucker say something, or unless they wearing something so, uniquely, just say, for instance, somebody come from the East Coast and go west and they just got on, say they from New York and they just got on a bunch of Yankee shit, then you may say, well, that nigga might be from New York, or this, that, and the third, or vice versa. But other than that, you wouldn't know where a motherfucker was from unless they open up their mouth. You see what I'm saying? So again, when you're looking at many of the hairstyles, you know what I'm saying? And you see right there, when you look at the neck and they got them rings and shit on their neck. You know what I'm saying? To stretch the neck. Hold up. Where's that one? I'm supposed to be on my other channel tonight. But I'm gonna get deeper off into this. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be a part 2 to this. But I got it down here somewhere. There you go, right here. Let me bring it up. Motherfuckers talking this shit that, Africans came across the goddamn, you know what I'm saying, across this ocean long time ago. So you see right here, you see they didn't stole, and you can see here where they got the rings on their neck. Even in Africa, you gonna tell me, after a while, just like I showed y'all the goddamn, the Inca with the serpent on his head, the ship, the papyrus ship. You ain't gonna just do that shit the same, nigga, without somebody showing you how that's done. You understand what I'm saying? Because you don't see it like that everywhere. You know what I'm saying? If that was the case, then you would see it everywhere. And so you see it even here where they stretch the goddamn neck, the mohawk, the himba that you see, that the Africans wear, the himba. Come on, man. Let's wake up out there. You understand what I'm saying? It's time to be courageous in telling the goddamn truth. You see what I'm saying when you talk about uh the Quiba dot. You see what I'm saying, which is a symbol of fertility. You understand what I'm saying? And then you look at the Ankh. Now it ain't the same, but the symbolisms are so uniquely similar. You know what I'm saying? And when you start looking at everything else, you understand that this is just not no coincidence. Let me scoot through this. The sacred leopard. You see what I'm saying? Where you see sacred all over Africa. Is that a coincidence? Is that a coincidence that you see that the sacred leopard in South Africa, West Africa, East Africa? You see what I'm saying? And so you see that when they went into, into the Americas, it became the jaguar. You see? And you see, that's an African. That ain't no goddamn I can show motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, Indian. That's an African. You see what I'm saying? With a damn beard. You don't even see the motherfucking so-called Indian motherfuckers with no beards for real. You don't even see them with no damn beard. You see what I'm saying? That's an African. Fool. You see, wait a minute, let me say. So when you talk about, again, you see the Egyptian with the leopard skin, and you just see that, the West and South African with the leopards. It's sacred across the board. You see what I'm saying? Sacred across the board. Also, the ram is sacred in West Africa. The leopard is sacred in West Africa. You see? Let me come on down. And then you see the elongated head. You understand that system, because you got to put the rings, that wrap on the head. You understand, to get it like that. You see, that's from east to west, south to north. You see, these are the traditions that's African, regardless to whatever side you come from, whether it's north or south. You see, and so what is this today is to venerate and understand that it's about all of Africa. We ain't, when we say we mean all the continent. You see what I'm saying? So family out there, you maybe, when you speak of Egypt, we got to speak of West Africa to let them know, you know what I'm saying, that we know that's y'all, that's us. We know you family. We brothers and sisters. It don't make no damn difference where we come from. You see what I'm saying? We family. The whole continent, South Africa, Zulu Nation. We down with that. We Zulus. God damn it, we Ife. We all of that. We Ashanti. You understand what I'm saying? We all of that. You know what I'm saying? We Sudanese, we the Nuba. We all of that. We ain't no just segregated to no one damn side of Africa. And so when we say, we know that based on research and where our peoples is at, we are a unique people. And when you lay out the facts, and you got to be clear about the facts, we know that this is an African. When I put down the Naga, I could go hundreds of similarities. Hundreds. They ain't similarities, they the same thing. But I could go hundreds of not. These are complex ideas. You know what I'm saying? There's no way you're going to have a coincidental complex idea. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You're not going to, because there's only one way to do it. You know what I'm saying? There's only one way to do it. And ain't no two ways of doing it. There's one way to do it. Okay? And so we understand that our people created the first university systems of the world that were the blueprint that went all over Africa and went all over the world. So we reaching out today, and this is just part one. I'm coming black. I really didn't get off into all the things that I wanted to get off into, and so it most definitely will be a part two to this. You see what I'm saying? It most definitely be a part two to this. But family, I got to get on over there. The last one today is gonna be on Sarah Sunseti's YouTube page. Why is Adam and Eve always shown wearing caveman animal skins? I got to come in. This so-called the Cro-Magnon New Year throwing blows. Cause you nigga and wonder why, cause you immolate the caveman and you say, why is black people acting so goddamn crazy? You immolating the caveman. That's your God. That's your system of superiority that you look to, nigga, and you failing. You failing because you've chosen the most decrepit motherfucking source of of humanism on the planet as your system of superiority, and you failing. You better wake up, family. This is the General Sarah Student said. He's saying, hey, get on over there to Sarah. We're going out with a bang tonight. This is the General saying, hey, arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power.